Today we're in the all-new 2026 Ford Explorer, and we're talking all about the brand new version of BlueCruise, BlueCruise 1.5 with automatic lane change assist. Holy moly. In this video, we're going to kind of cover some of the features about the whole new technology, but we're also going to show you how to use it, how to change it, how to tweak it, and how to maximize it. That is coming up on TC Customs. So first up, I think we need to show you exactly how to turn the system on. Now, this is a brand new vehicle that is actually in our loaner program, and so by default, it has the BlueCruise version turned on. Now, keep in mind, all of this is assuming the vehicle is equipped with that specific equipment, but this one is, and it's set up automatically with a trial since it's still technically in the new car inventory and it is in the loaner program as of right now. So basically what happens, you'll see that I'm on just a back road right now, and so we're crossing paths, and really the technology for the hands-free is not on this section of road. So before we even talk about how to turn it on, we need to tell you where you can use it and what you can't use it for and all that kind of stuff. So when Ford first came out with BlueCruise, they said that it has to be on certain sections of divided road. Let me put that into layman's terms for you. That basically means that you can go hands-free on the interstate, is basically what it boils down to. There's a lot of interstate that actually has the ability to do that. Between me and my wife, we probably have 60,000 miles worth of BlueCruise driving under our belt between our vehicles. But this particular vehicle is the next iteration of that hands-free driving. But when you're on these back roads and you don't have the access to hands-free, it's okay. You can still use your normal traditional cruise control, but it is enhanced for sure. And the way that they enhance that is as I turn on the adaptive cruise control, that's really what it's called when it's not hands-free. You turn on your cruise control, and by default, it is going to be looking for cars in front of you using a radar sensor in the front bumper. And so let's say I set it to 55 miles an hour, and there's a guy going slower than that in front of me. Well, the car's automatically going to slow down for me, and I don't have to worry about anything. It'll maintain that safe distance, that safe gap. And even then, as long as the lane centering is on, the vehicle will steer itself. It basically drives itself completely. Now, you need to make sure you keep your hands on the steering wheel, as it says right there on the dash, as clear as day. Keep your hands on the wheel with that little logo right there. But it's basically driving itself. And so if you're looking for a little bit less of a stress-free driving, it actually definitely helps. And if at any point you're like, man, I don't know, like I don't feel comfortable, if you just grab the steering wheel, you can very easily overpower the system. You don't have to fight it. It knows when you're trying to take control and do something different. So that's one of the first things I hear about people, like, oh, I don't want that car driving for me, is because what if it tries to do something crazy? Well, you can just very easily just grab the steering wheel and do whatever you need to. And the system can tell that, and it will basically deactivate. The same thing happens if you hit the brake. So as I'm at a complete stop, just in traffic right here, you'll notice that a part of this adaptive cruise control is adaptive cruise control with stop and go, meaning that it comes to a complete stop and then it automatically resumes when it needs to. Sometimes you have to hit the gas, sometimes you have to hit the resume button on the steering wheel, but just then I just automatically started driving itself again, which is kind of nice. But yeah, basically to turn on the adaptive cruise control is the same system to turn on the BlueCruise 1.5 for the interstate. So you basically come up here and turn on the cruise control, and when you turn on the cruise control, you can adjust the speed by turning the set up and down. That is the speed that you want the vehicle to top out at. So basically what'll happen is if somebody's going slower than that, it'll slow down. If you're on the interstate, it'll actually go around the person, which is pretty cool. I'm going to show that to you here in just a second. But basically you're setting the maximum speed. So that way, if you say, no, I definitely don't want to go more than 70 miles an hour because that's the speed limit, 70 be the cap, and it will go around people on the interstate to actually make it to where that works, which is so rad. Now, you'll also see that there is a button here where you can press it and adjust the distance between you and the car in front of you. Depending on what you're wanting to do, you can press that button and adjust it and just make yourself more comfortable. This is not a distance indicator. It's actually more of a time to stop indicator. What do I mean by that? Well, the distance, like if you set it, there's like 4 different bars where you can say, I want to be one distance bar away from the car in front of me, 2 distance bars in front of me, 3, and then 4. So I guess what I'm trying to say is if you have the max distance set up, that maximum distance is going to look very different at 70 miles an hour than it will at 15 miles an hour because it doesn't take as much time to slow down. So that's the reason there's not really a distance there. It's more of like, hey, how long is it going to take you to stop in case you have to take over or, that kind of a thing. There's also another button here that looks like a lane, and it's got some arrows pointing to the lane. That's your lane centering button. So if you said you wanted to use the adaptive cruise control, but I don't want the car to steer for me, that's how you can turn that off and on. To make sure that you're using the BlueCruise 1.5, and for that matter, all BlueCruise versions, lane centering has to be on, otherwise BlueCruise is not going to work. So most people, when they get frustrated and they say, man, my BlueCruise isn't coming on when I turn the cruise control on, they don't even realize that they've accidentally pressed that button and they've deactivated the lane centering, and for that exact reason, then all of a sudden the car's not going to be driving itself on the interstate. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. And then you've got the set, resume, and then you've also got the X on this Explorer, which your buttons may vary if you're on a different version of BlueCruise, or a different vehicle rather. You might have a little bit different of a layout. But now as I'm coming up on the interstate, same exact process. I've been using the adaptive cruise control on this back road, but now that I'm on the interstate, I'm just going to come up here, and you know what? Even though there's a car coming slower than that in front of me, I'm going to go ahead and set my speed. I almost said temperature. I'm going to set my speed to 75 miles an hour. And notice that basically I'm just going to kind of sit back. Now it tells me BlueCruise is on, watch the road, be prepared to take over. This is not one of those systems where you can just like kind of fall asleep. That's not what this is. You have to stay focused on the road. In fact, to prove that, there is sensors located just above the steering wheel that are actually looking at your eyeballs. And the beautiful thing is if you have a set of glasses, it can still see through those glasses. If these were sunglasses, it can still see through those. And it can even see through your glasses even at night if you wanted to. And the reason it's able to do that is because of the same technology that's in your iPhone, where it's scanning your face for the Face ID, how it can read that at night. It's basically like a LiDAR, but it's basically taking a 3D map of your face, looking at your eyeballs, making sure that you're looking at the road. And as you can see from this sensor right here, you'll notice on the camera, it's got this red flashing light to it. And please keep in mind, that is not visible at all to the naked eye. But for some reason, my camera here can pick that up, but just like your iPhone, it's completely invisible to the human eye. So just kind of point that out, and just know that don't worry, you're not gonna have to deal with that vehicle sitting there flashing at you the entire time that you own the vehicle. And there goes that lane change again. I love it. It's so cool. Now, I've got my speed limit set to 75 miles an hour, and I'm currently doing 64 miles an hour. And look at that. Did you hear that little audible goes doot doot? And then all of a sudden the vehicle puts its blinker on, and it got over for me because it saw a clear opportunity for me to change lanes. It sees another opportunity, so now it's getting all the way over to the far third lane, or the far left lane, so that way I can pass these people. Now, there's a bunch of traffic in front of me that you can't see, but if it was clear and I was just passing the one person, the system's even smart enough to get back over once you have overtaken that particular individual. Now, let's say that I'm about to pass this last car where the thing is getting, traffic's getting a little bit more scarce. Let's say that I want to make myself get over, and I don't want to wait for the car to initiate it. All I have to do is hit the blinker, and as soon as it's available, it's going to change lanes for me. So the 1.5 gives you the ability to do the automatic lane change, but you can still force the system to change lanes anytime you want to just by using the blinker. I had somebody say, well, I don't want to have to use the blinker. That's a little extra. I mean, dude, you need to be using the blinker to change lanes anyway. So, it is what it is. But I think that is so cool that you have the ability to change lanes automatically, but you can also force it on yourself as well. Now, The only thing that you have to be aware of is when you're driving, make sure you pay attention to your exit. Because as you see, it's getting back over because there's another guy that got in front of me going slower than me. But what happens if I was supposed to take this exit right here and I wasn't paying attention? I was in the far right-hand lane and the system went ahead and got over all the way, and then I realized, oh crap, I'm supposed to get off of that exit. You have to pay attention to that. So you might be asking yourself, like, what do you do if the system's trying to change lanes and you don't want it to? It's very simple. You can just grab the steering wheel and it'll stop. It tells, so it's going to change lanes here in just a second, and when it tries to do that, I'm going to grab the steering wheel to prove the point. Or not. I guess it's not grabbing the lane over because it sees the car in front of me. So this whole vehicle is looking all the way around me in quite a good distance. It's using the cameras in the windshield, it's using the cameras in the front bumper, the cameras underneath each of the mirrors, camera in the rear, and it's using radar sensors all the way around to make sure that, hey, if I get over, is it going to cause issues or is it going to cause me to go right back to slower again? But all of that to say, if the system's trying to change lanes and you don't want it to, just grab the steering wheel. That works. The other thing you can do is just tap the blinker in any direction, and it will also override it. But it might also cause you to change lanes, so just be careful of that. The main thing is if you don't want it to change lanes, just grab the steering wheel and it'll do what you need it to. Now, what you might be asking yourself is, okay, how can I change this? Let's say you don't like lane centering. Well, first off, I would recommend try it for 21 days. They say that it takes 21 days to form a new habit, and if that's the case, just try for 21 days and see if you like it. I love it, and I'm 3 days into it. But if you're not into it, that's cool. On the Explorer, what you want to do is click on the button right there on the screen where it has the image of the vehicle. Then click on Settings. This key setting you're looking for is Driver Assistance. When you click on Driver Assistance, what will happen is it will pop up a couple of different things. Now, your screen may vary, but depending on what vehicle it is, but this one has cruise control, speed limit assist, lane keeping system, pre-collision assist, and a lot of other technology that we're not going to cover in this particular video. But what I do want to cover, look, see, it's trying to change lanes. I just grabbed the steering wheel, and it just said, you know what? He didn't want to change lanes. I give up. It's really easy. You basically just tap it for a quick second and it stops trying to change lanes for you. But back to how do you change that? Let's say if you want to turn it off completely, it's underneath the cruise control button. Oh, holy moly. That is crazy. So I know you didn't see what was going on in front of me because I didn't have a camera pointed that direction, but the people in front of me absolutely slammed on their brakes. And that was a perfect example that I was not intending to talk about, that the system was fully operational. It was fully, going, and people were just so worried, like, I'm worried that if I can't, all I had to do is just go and slam on the brakes and everything is fine. The system is designed to be overridden very, very well and very easily just by grab the steering wheel, slam on the brakes if you have to. Now, the system can slow down, and the vehicle was slowing down just fine, and it probably would have been fine, but I wanted to be extra careful, especially since they were slamming on their brakes, and I don't need to get into an accident in this brand new vehicle with 39 miles on it. And so I decided to apply my own brake pressure, and it's like, oh, okay, no worries. So just kind of keep that in mind. This is not a system that is designed to completely replace your attention on the road, so you still have to do that. But let's say you're driving and you say, you know what, back to the original question is, how do I turn off the lane change assist? Well, come into the vehicle, go to the driver assistance, and then you want to go under the cruise control. From there, you can see you can change your adaptive cruise control just a normal cruise control if you wanted to, meaning that it won't maintain that safe distance between you and the car in front of you. But the lane centering, you can turn that completely off, or you can just turn off the lane repositioning. I'm going to cover that in just a second. And then the lane change assist. That is the one that is the new feature that Ford has just come out with. So turn the lane change assist off and it will automatically no longer change lanes on your behalf. But you're crazy if you turn that off, because that is a really nice feature. By the way, if you're not sure exactly what any of these specific features are, there's going to be an I next to it. that you have to be stopped to view it, but when you click on that eye next to it, it'll tell you exactly what the technology is before you turn it on, turn it off. So keep that in mind. All right, so we've turned on the lane change assist where it automatically will change lanes. In-lane repositioning, we have not talked about that. That is a really cool feature that was debuted on some earlier versions of BlueCruise, and it's basically looking for big 18-wheelers, big tractor trailers, whatever it is, and if it notices that you're right next to one of those, it's probably thinking, man, this guy's probably freaking out because we have this system that's right next to the other car. It's probably a good idea. We should scooch over a little bit in the lane, give that 18-wheeler a little bit more space so that way there's not an impact on the side accidentally. And so in-lane repositioning does exactly that. It scooches over to give you some space between you and that massive truck that's sitting right next to you. So pretty cool that you'd have that feature. Now, the lane centering, that is going to be the same button that we found on the steering wheel. You can turn that on, turn that off. If I turn that off, watch what's going to happen. The whole system deactivates. Now I have to grab the steering wheel. The car's not going to even steer itself, even if I've got the adaptive cruise control on. So that's a perfect thing if somebody says, you know what, I really just don't want the car to drive for me at all, but I still want this really nice adaptive cruise control to keep a distance in front of me. So props to Ford for making this system completely customizable. You can pick and choose which of the technologies you actually want to implement in your daily commute, which I think is really, really nice. So I'm going to turn that back on because I am straight up addicted to BlueCruise at this point. And if you are on the fence, if you're buying one of these things used, or you're like, I just don't know if the subscription is worth it, it's worth it. And I'm not getting paid a penny to say that. Most of you guys will be buying this and paying for your subscription nowhere near our dealership, and that's cool. My job is to tell you what I think, and that's honestly, BlueCruise is a game changer. It is so nice. Now, let's see here. Talk about a couple of, I guess, tips and tricks. One of the things that you have to be aware about when it comes to BlueCruise is your driving habits. So obviously, I'm sitting here and I've got my hands off the steering wheel. It can see my face because those sensors are right there above the steering wheel. But here's the problem. What happens if my hand is blocking those sensors? So let's just say, now obviously you can see my eyes, but that camera system can't. And I can see the road, by the way. But notice, it's basically saying ensure face can be detected to continue using BlueCruise. And then it says, oh, resume control. I'm not going to be driving for you if I can't tell you're actually paying attention. So the technology is pretty cool that it can see that. Where that comes into a problem is if you like to drive with one hand right at 12 o'clock, because if that's the case, and even if you're using just the adaptive cruise control on a back road where it's not even hands-free, it's still going to ding you to death, meaning that the only way that you can drive with your hand on top of the steering wheel is with all of these driver assist technologies completely turned off. So if you have adaptive cruise control or Blue's control on, it has to be able to see your eyes. Now, I know Ford watches our videos, so this is a little bit of a note to their engineers. I liked the system in the past where they had it like in the F-150. You'd have one sensor over here and you'd have another sensor over there in the driver's side door. And so that way, if this one couldn't see your eyes, this one still could, and you would still be able to drive. There is a little bit of a flaw here with just one set of sensors looking at your eyes. I realize that probably cuts some cost, but it's a little bit more annoying when you accidentally are, blocking your eyes from that camera to be able to see you. So that's kind of basically it. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you one of those people that refuses to let anybody, let a technology drive you? I would love to know the comments down in the section below. And if this video helped you, there's two things that we can ask from you. Number one, just hit that like button. It helps this content make it to other people that really need to see it. But also, if you're thinking about buying a vehicle, whether it's got BlueCruise or not, hit up Town & Country Ford. That's our sister store to TC Customs. And we are obviously a Ford dealership. We have two locations, one in Pell City, Alabama, and one off Academy Drive, both in Alabama. And yeah, if you want any help, just reach out to us. The phone number's right there on the screen. We'll be happy to help you with your next Ford vehicle purchase. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a great day. Peace.